Kerry Kilpin. I am the executive chef at Steenberg Wine Estate. We have two beautiful restaurants on the estate. Bistro 1682, which is the more hip and happening, vibey kind of restaurant. It's right next to the tasting room, and we serve breakfast, lunch and tapas in the evenings. And then Trin Restaurant, which is located right next to the hotel, and we offer breakfast, lunch and dinner. It's a little bit more sophisticated dining, but very relaxed, beautiful to sit on the patio in the afternoons, look at the vineyards and the beautiful background of our mountains. So today I'm going to cook for you a gorgeous little silverfish from Abelobi. Abelobi is a non-profit organization which is basically bringing fish from the hook to the cook, which is great. So we order through an online platform, a little app that's been developed where we get fish that has been caught freshly that day direct from the fishermen and brought to our restaurant. So it's the freshest, most beautiful fish you can get in Cape Town. And it's fantastic because we're taking out the middleman. So the people that are really putting the hard hours into catching this fish is who is profiting from it, and also it is keeping the fish in our oceans, because they are small-scale fishermen and they are only catching small amounts what their boat can handle. They're going out on these tiny little boats. They can only go in good sea conditions, and they're not raping our ocean, so to speak. So it's wonderful because we're supporting these families and we're getting the best product. So I'm now here in the newly renovated suite at Steenberg Hotel, and we're going to cook this little fish. It's a fabulous little kitchen, so I'm going to just showcase a little bit of what we've got here. But just to get started, I'm going to fillet our little fish that we received. This was a little silverfish, also known as carpenter. It's caught locally, and the beautiful thing with the app is we can actually see who the fisherman was that caught it. The fisherman that caught this fish was, what was his name? Tinus van Skalkwyk, I think, was the fisherman that caught our fish, and we can even go as far as to see that he used white mussel as his bait, and it was caught off the coastline of Stray Spy in his little boat. So it's all quite nice because you can see where it's from, and it's ethically sourced. With the little fish today, we're going to serve a spekboom chutney. This is spekboom, also known as pork bush, or what's the other one? Elephant bush. It's native to South Africa, and it's mainly grown in the Eastern Cape. Addo Elephant Park being one of the great places to go because the elephants love to eat it. But it's a really, really good plant that most South Africans should have in their homes or in their gardens. It grows in a pot, it grows in the flower bed, doesn't matter. It takes the air pollution out of the air. So it's really a good thing for our country, and just for us it produces nice, healthy, fresh air for all of us to breathe. So it's quite nice to have it, and it's great in foods. You can eat it fresh. It's all cooked, and we're going to make a little chutney with it. It's got a little zesty, almost citrusy type flavor. So yeah, I love it. It's just a little bit different, and it's quite a nice little South African thing. With our little fish today, we're going to serve our little silverfish on some black rice with a tarragon hollandaise, some courgette ribbons, and a little what's it? Oh, tarragon hollandaise. Oh, I've said that. Just to get started, I'm going to stick on my pan in this lovely suite. We've got they're so nicely equipped because you've got a little oven here, everything in the cupboards that you need, and we've got this fantastic guest liaison manager who, if you would like to cook, you can give her your little shopping list, and she can go to Woolies for you or one of our great supermarkets and buy all your stuff, and then you can have a nice home cooked meal at home or in your suite, which is like your home for the next couple of days. And I know when I'm on holiday, for me there's nothing worse than eating restaurant food every day. I absolutely love eating out, but I can't do it breakfast, lunch and supper. And sometimes it's just nice to be able to eat in your comfort and not feel like you have to have a rich meal. So that's what's really nice about the sweets, is you can just have a home away from home. Just seasoning that up and getting it ready, and pop it in the pan. And in the meantime, I'm also going to start our little speckworm chutney. Oh, I'm a little bit off. With that, I've got a little onion. We're going to use half an onion, so I'm just going to make a small batch, and just some chopped onion, a bit of fennel seeds, mustard seeds, saute them off in a pan, and add our speckworm and let that cook down. So that's probably enough. I've got some of that which we've already picked, and all you do is you literally just take off the little leaves and use them. But they're great. These leaves are so lovely, and yeah, they bring a nice little zing to a salad, which is always a little bit fun if you want to bring something different or surprise your guest with something they've never even heard of. So I'm just going to add a bit of olive oil, stick our onions in, get them going, and see that I've got some fennel seeds and some mustard, and we'll pop in our speckworm. In the meantime, pan's getting nice and warm here, and we're going to sear off our fishy. With the dish, I'm going to serve some courgette ribbons. These are great. You can eat them raw, you can eat them cooked. I like them quite crunchy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to peel the courgette into a few ribbons like this. And then at the end, when the fish is basically cooked, we'll just toss them in the warm pan just to wilt them. We don't want to cook them too far down because they're so delicate and they're nice and thin. So we'll do that. So our pan here is nice and hot. Let's stick our fish in. It's a nice little non-stick pan, so we shouldn't have any problems there. And our speckworm's sizzling away here nicely. I'm going to add a good amount of sugar because it's a chutney, and some vinegar. And we're going to let those two cook together until it gets nice and sticky and a kind of a consistency of a nice little relish. That can get going. Flip them over. It's a nice colour. You'll notice I've scored the back of the skin of the fish, and the reason I've done that is it just stops the fish from retracting on itself in the pan. Because often you put a fish on that's beautiful and fresh, and you want to keep the skin because it's so nice and crispy and beautiful. But if you don't score it, you end up with a fish that does this in your pan and it won't cook evenly. So score the fish, and you'll get a beautiful flat piece of fish. I'm just going to add a little knob of butter and stick him in the oven just for a minute or so while to cook through. Also want to just test the oven. And then, there we go, just turn this off. Meantime, I'm just going to get my plate ready. I've made a little hollandaise already, and to the hollandaise we've just added a bit of fresh tarragon. So something just simple, light. You don't have to do a hollandaise if you want to keep the dish really light and not rich. Just a good squeeze of lemon at the end, or serve with a lemon wedge, and you're good to go. So go. Nice. Oh, chutney is looking like it's almost there. I'm just going to slow it down a bit because I don't want to get it too carried away, otherwise it over evaporates and you haven't actually cooked through your onions and that. So just a pinch of salt. As you can see, it's quick. Fresh fish really is 2 minutes or so in the oven and you're good to go. So this is lovely and cooked. I'm going to pop that on top. And into that pan that I've got, I'm just going to toss I've already switched off the heat. It's not necessary to even have the heat going. And there's some nice butter going still from the fish and all those flavors from the fish. So that's always nice. Pinch of salt, and I'm just going to add a little bit of parsley. This is just flat leaf parsley, but you can use curly parsley, anything. I just like a little bit of herbs. It brings a nice freshness to a dish, but it's not necessary if you don't have it. Always a bit of freshness is my favorite. Always try to bring that through in the food in both restaurants, a little light, fresh aspect. So see this, those are looking done. Add a few courgette ribbons on the other side. I've made a little speckbone chutney already because you want to have it cold when you add it to the dish, otherwise it's just a little bit strong when you eat it hot. It's not a nice accompaniment hot, so I like it served cold. So we're going to just pop a little bit on top and just a few little micros and finish off with our hollandaise. So there we've got our fresh abalone silverfish on black rice, courgette ribbons, finished with a tarragon hollandaise and our speckworm chutney. Thank you for spending some time with me in the beautiful suite at Steenberg Hotel, and I look forward to you coming to experience us in person and enjoy what the beautiful Steenberg has to offer.